Hello everyone, welcome to my channel English with Miss MK and welcome to this new video. Today I'm going to show you how to make first year classes successful. Teaching English to kids or children may seem to be an easy task, but it's a very hard job because it requires a lot of motivation, creativity, and a lot of patience from part of the teachers. How can we explain to our pupils lessons in English while they have no background about English? How can we talk in English while our students know nothing about it? Just follow these tips and these pieces of advice in order to make your teaching effective. The first tip, you have to turn your lessons into songs. You have to turn the grammar, vocabulary, and the dialects they learn in class into songs. Make your best in order to turn them into songs because your pupils are young and they need to listen to songs, and this works especially for auditive learners. Why not showing videos on data show and so they're going to see pictures and at the same time listen to the songs, and this works for the two styles, auditive and visual learners. You have to rely on some channels. For example, I'm going to suggest a very effective channel, which is Cocomelon Nursery Rhymes. It's here, so it's a very good channel that you can rely on. It contains all the topics that you need in your teaching or in your classes. Tip 3. Create visual context. Create something concrete. Highlighting, underlining, circling, drawing, showing pictures, giving them worksheets, watching videos, everything which might be concrete and visual, do it, because they need to see what English looks like. They don't have to see how English sounds. They have to see what English looks like. Tip 4. Teach them the daily activities. From the first beginning, tell them about the activities or the commands they are going to use every day. Make them write all these commands and activities by the end of the exercise book in order to make it practical. When they have to say something, they're going to check it out in their exercise book. May I come in? May I erase the board? Can I go to WC? May I borrow a pencil? Can you correct my activity? Can you see my activity, please? So you have to teach them every single sentence they're going to use in the classroom, and believe me, they're going to be motivated. Every day you will notice that your students or your pupils make hard efforts and do their best in order to speak English. Maybe they don't need to through, but they are going to say, "Miss, can I through please?" Like they pretend to through something in order to speak English. So this is very, very practical, and you will notice that are going to be motivated to speak English. Tip 5. You have to be creative. What does this mean? It means that you have to change your look. For example, you rearrange the seats. At each time you rearrange the seats. For example, you start your lesson differently. You change your icebreaker. Sometimes you start with a game. Another time we start with a joke. Another time we start with a riddle. Another time we start with a quiz. So it depends. For example, you may invite someone to come to your class, for example a teacher of English, in order to see how does your class work, or for example another pupil from the same grade, or another pupil from a lower or an upper grade. It depends. And I'm going to suggest something very important here. You have to make your, you turn your texts of reading into poems sometimes. You are going to be interested in poems, maybe more than texts, or just sometimes you have to change in order to make things seem different and more beautiful and more interesting, I would say. Tip 6. You have to take your class out. This may be practical for some teachers and not practical for others, I understand, but do your best in order to take your classes out of your classroom in order to change, break the routine. And you can't, you'd be really surprised at what they can learn from outdoors activities. Believe me, they're going to learn a lot. For example, they have learned the alphabet. You give them, or like some items from nature, I would say. You give them letters. For example, one pupil takes two S's and one Y, for example. He's going to get out the classroom, and he's going to look for items starting with those letters. For example, Y, yard. He's going to say, Miss Yard. Very good. Miss S, sky. I have another S. Miss Stairs. So this is very good. Or, for example, they have dealt with shapes for second-year pupils. So we're going to give them some shapes, for example, circle and triangle. They're going to get out and look for items involving those shapes. This is very practical, I think, and it's very effective. And they learn on the floor. And it's very, very good. It's a concrete learning, authentic learning, I would say. The last tip is make it fun. It means make your classes fun. If I say make your classes fun, it means make your classes involving games. Games are very, very important, and you cannot teach young pupils without including some games in your teaching, because it will be very boring. And you cannot. I always say that you have to turn their energy and curiosity to your full advantage, because you cannot make them focus an entire class. Impossible. An entire class focused is impossible. So they have to be you have to attract their attention with games. So here I'm going to suggest 4 games. I'm going to explain to you the principles of each game, and of course I'm going to leave you the link of the already posted video of games in the box. So here I'm going to suggest Hangman. Hangman, it's a very, very common game. So it consists of, for example, you enter the class, and for example, the lesson is about animals, an example, or a text about animal. So we are going to write, for example, we're going to make them guess the animal they're going to write on the board. But don't write the animal on the board, just give hints. My dear pupils, I'm going to give you an animal here. Its name contains, for example, 6 letters. For example, monkey, in your mind, monkey. So they have to guess. So you write animal at the top of the board. You write animal, between parentheses, 6 letters. You're going to draw hyphens on the board. You're going to draw hyphens on the board. Then you're going to write 1 letter, if you wish. If you don't want to write any letter, just leave it as it is. So here you're going to, if you have 3 rows, so you're going to suggest 3 animals. The first row is going to take the first animal with the 6 letters, which is monkey, and they don't know that it is a monkey. So they're going to suggest a letter. If they say a letter which is part of the word, so it's correct. You're not going to draw anything on the board. You're going to write, for example, they suggest E. You're going to write E in the 5th hyphen, so it's correct. E. If they're going to say a wrong letter, here you're going to start to draw a part of the body of the man who is going to be hanged. So here, the principle, if they don't get the letters correct before the body of the hangman is drawn, they're going to, of course, lose. So this is the principle of the game I'm going to show you. So here is the principle. You're going to write an animal at the top of the board. You're going to draw just this without the head. I'm going just to show you the details. So you're going to write or to draw these hyphens. If they say, for example, E, you're going to write E, so it's correct. If they're going to say, for example, N, and there is no N, so you start to draw the body. For example, you draw the head. If they're going to say, for example, another wrong letter, for example, F, you're not going to write F here because it doesn't contain F, so you draw another part. Here, you draw another part. And for example, they say another wrong letter, you draw another point. So if this is completed before the animal is guessed, they're going to lose. We have another common game, which is Simon Says. Here, your pupils are going to be very active, and it works as an icebreaker, especially in the morning. It will make your pupils active. So you're going to make your pupils stand up. They have already learned, for example, about the body parts. It's good. So you're going to call out actions. You're the leader. So for example, you say, Simon says, touch your hands. Simon says, clap your hands. Simon says, touch your shoulders. Simon says, touch your head. So they're going to apply every single action you utter. But only if you say Simon says. If you don't say, and it happens that you don't say Simon says, and this is a principle of the game, if a pupil touches his or her knees without listening to Simon says, he's going to lose, because the principle of the game is Simon says. Simon says. So you have to concentrate, and you're the leader. You can like make your actions or your utterance of the actions more rapid. So they're going to follow you. So it requires concentration, it requires a good listening, good auditive skill, and it requires energy. And your pupils are going to have fun, I'm sure, because I've tried it many times with my pupils. So you have to sometimes speak quickly. So here it is going to enhance the listening skill, and it has, like, believe me, many advantages. Just try it. I'm going to suggest another game. This is the third game, so it's called Shitori. This is a Japanese game which means taking the butt. I'm going to explain to you. So here the class gets into circle with the teacher, and the teacher is going to say cat and dog, for example. So it's about animals, so that your pupils are going to understand that it's about animals. So the second child or the second pupil is going to say elephant. Another child is going to say monkey. Another child is going to say giraffe. So here they are going to say the animals they have learned. And if someone can't think of a new word or repeats the word that is already given, is a loser. Of course, going to lose. It's a very good game for lexicon, for vocabulary, for memory too. One last game I would suggest for this video is show but don't tell. Here it requires students or pupils to get pictures or flashcards, for example, daily activities. So we have, for example, a class of 20. You're going to divide your pupils into two groups. So 10 pupils are going to get flashcards, and 10 pupils are going to be without flashcards. The principle, so they're going to for example, flashcards of, for example, go to the mosque, go to school, have lunch, have breakfast, get dressed, go to bed, watch TV, and so on. So they're going to see the picture and make gestures, let the other classmate guess what does the picture involve. And here it's like it assesses the two classmates, the one who makes gestures and the one who guesses. So that's all, my dear followers. I hope it was useful. You have to understand that this way your pupils are going to learn English implicitly. And something very important I forgot to mention is memorization. Your pupils, your first year pupils, and even second year pupils, and even the other years, they have to memorize. You have to rely on memorization. I rely on memorization a lot for first year classes because it's very useful. Make them memorize the days, the months, the seasons, the numbers, since you are not going to deal with pre-sequence. So make them memorize it, or memorize all these lessons at home in order to be effective. So thank you so much for watching this video. We'll meet inshallah in another video. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.